On July 28, 2019, Rob Dubbin tweeted, "My man comes home. Me, nervous. How was the store? My man, fine. Me, oh thank God, my man, ran into Jolene. Me, oh no, my man, she mentioned you left kind of an intense voicemail." This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. The day I'm recording this Tuesday, we got the sad news that Dolly Parton, the iconic country music star and actress and basically everything, passed away. So I asked my Patreon subscribers on Discord whether there was an iconic Dolly Parton related tweet I should cover, and of all the suggestions, this is the one that I felt fit best because it is quite funny and it's about perhaps her most iconic song. And I think it's quite funny because you don't actually know that the me in this tweet is Dolly Parton. You don't realize that this tweet is from the perspective of Dolly Parton until my man mentions running into Jolene. Because yes, this is referring to Jolene, Dolly Parton's iconic 1973 song, and this tweet recontextualizes the lyrics and the song itself as a voicemail that Dolly Parton left for Jolene, which is not actually that crazy to imagine because the song is, of course, from Dolly Parton's perspective, begging Jolene, a woman who apparently is on the verge of taking her husband away, to stop. Obviously, if you have a pulse, you've heard the song, but let's just quickly listen to a bit of the chorus just because I think it is funny to think about this as a voicemail that Dolly Parton left for Jolene.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can.
Like, I think in songs like this, we take for granted that they are directed towards a person, and we don't actually think about them being said to a person. And so making it as something as banal as a voicemail, I think just is quite funny. And going to Rob Dubbin's Blue Sky account today, I found two funny pieces of information. One, that this tweet was mentioned in an L profile of Dolly Parton, so he says that there's a non-zero chance she's seen this tweet. I really do hope that she did. And to the news of her loss, he posted, "Oh no, what a loss, what a legend. R.I.P. Dolly Parton. Our only collab was brief and also you weren't aware of it, but I'll never ever forget it." Because this is one of those tweets I think is iconic, not because people riff on it, not because it's joined the lexicon of this, that, or whatever, but because it's just really funny and people remember it. At the time, people enjoyed it. People come back to it. Like, so many of the quote tweets are like Christopher Keelty saying, "Just thinking of this absolute banger." Harry Lee says, "I also cannot think about Dolly Parton without remembering one of my all-time favorite posts on this site." Just this year, a meme page on Facebook called Sweet Memes Are Made of Geese posted it with, "Oh, well, and perhaps most notably, in 2022, the legendary actor Jason Isaacs quoted it and said, "Laughing my arse off on the way to work. Thank you, @Guardian," because I think the website for The Guardian included it in like a list of good tweets. And some of the replies do engage with what the tweet is saying, like L. Filtrum says, "One of the most suspenseful songs of all time. Like, what is Jolene's reply to these pleas?" Because beyond the chorus, which I played, it does get really specific about her in a way that I don't know how you'd respond to. Like the first verse, "Your beauty is beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene." Like, if someone said that to you, how would you respond? And then she immediately goes on to, "He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name Jolene, and I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene." And this is where I stop and say that on Twitter, whenever this song comes up, whenever Dolly Parton comes up, before her passing away, unfortunately, people would always ask the same question, like this tweet does: "I need to see what Jolene looked like." Now, people on my Discord want me to feature this tweet, but this is not the first time this has been observed, and honestly, I'm positive that this observation has been made before Twitter was even a thing. And that brings me to what Jillian Fennell says in a quote saying, "A true @Dolly Parton fan knows it's the bank," meaning it would not be the store where this conversation takes place, because we actually do know what Dolly Parton was writing about. It's been reported in various outlets over the years, but a lot of the sourcing comes from a 2014 interview she did with The Independent at Glastonbury Festival. And the thing is, the song is not like literally true in that Dolly Parton was not actually worried about another woman taking her man. It's kind of written not in jest, but it's a somewhat imagined response to the fact that apparently there was a bank teller that was really sweet on her husband and would flirt with him all the time, and he kind of played into it. Like, he liked going to the bank to interact with her, and the song is kind of her imagining that going further, as she put it in that interview. So it's really an innocent song all around, but sounds like a dreadful one. But this woman's name was not Jolene. Apparently the name Jolene comes from the name of an 8-year-old fan she met backstage. And honestly, I don't know what the bank teller's name was, but I am positive that it was not something that would make as good a song title and as good a thing to sing repeatedly as Jolene. So yes, I fractured the fiction of this tweet. This was not actually a thing that Dolly Parton was sincerely saying to someone. But if we could go back to the reality of the tweet, tweet, just to finish off with the last verse before the last chorus, just once again, imagine coming home. This is back in the days of answering machines or whatever, where you actually have to like play a tape, you hit the tape, and this is what you hear. You can have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. That would be absolutely insane, and honestly, even if I really was in love with her husband, I probably would back off because this is not something I want to deal with. And the thing is, their love was really that strong because Dolly Parton, despite being a world-famous superstar and sex symbol, was with her husband for almost 60 years until he passed away last year. And obviously you've been seeing the tributes on social media. You don't need me to tell you how incredible a person Dolly Parton was. Even if she never sung a song or never acted in a movie or anything, she still would be an incredible human just for her philanthropic work. And even if she never wrote another song, other than the day she wrote Jolene, she still will be a legend. Not just because Jolene is that powerful of a song, but because on the same day she wrote Jolene, she also wrote I Will Always Love You. Rest in peace, Dolly. You are genuinely one of those celebrities that, with no irony, no trepidation whatsoever, we all can say the world is a worse place without. Follow me for a new tweet every day, and if you want to be on the Discord when I ask questions like, hey, does anyone have a tweet for me to cover for Dolly Parton's passing, you gotta get on the Patreon, patreon.com/museum of Twitter, or for just the price of literally one subway trip, the amount that I paid to take the subway home from work. You pay that once a month, and you get access to my Discord, where you can vote on my cover on Subscriber Sundays, and you get a weekly bonus episode, an 8th episode every week, called the Museum of Not Twitter. If that's not a deal, I don't know what is.